Can I start yet?
You can.
Can I? I can.
Yes, fire away.
Right. This is a version of the Crafty Farmer's Daughter, perhaps even the Highwayman Outwitted, or if you're American, Rags to Riches. Any one of those. Better. It's of a rich farmer in Cheshire. To the market his daughter would go, not thinking that any should harm her. She'd been that way oft times before. She was met by a ruffian robber, and that caused the young woman to stand. Your money and gold now deliver, or else your sweet life is at hand. Well, he stripped his fair damsel stark naked, and he gave her his bridle to hold. She stood there a shivering and shaking, near starving to death with the cold. But she put her left foot in the stirrup, and she mounted the horse like a man. Over hedges and ditches she galloped, crying, "Catch me, bold rogue, if you can." Well, the bold rogue soon followed after, which caused him to puff and to blow. Thank God that he never did catch her, till she came to her farmer's own door. "Oh, daughter, dear daughter, what's happened? Oh, father, to you I will tell. I was met by a ruffian robber. Thank God he has done me no harm. Put the grey mare into the stable, and spread the white sheet on the floor. She stood there counting the money. She counted 5,000 or more. £5,000 is a big fortune. Dear daughter, I'll give you 5 more. £10,000 is a big fortune to keep the wild wolf from the door. And now she's a lady of honour, and she in a carriage does ride, with servants to wait and to pardon her, and a footman to ride by her side. End.
Well done.
Hooray! Good for
Well,
her.
thank you.
And good for you, Clive. Thank you. Okay, it's a pair of Davids now. So first David Jones and then David Kidman.
Okay. You just reminded me that it was Burns night yesterday. I used to turn up to all the ones in New York where Ed Miller was singing, if you remember Ed Miller. And this is one we sang at school, so it's just come into my tiny brain this very instant that I could sing this, because we sang it at school in Peckham, in southeast London. Ye banks and braes of bonny Doon, how can ye bloom so fresh and fair? How can ye chant, ye little birds, and I so weary, full of care? Thou break my heart, you warbling bird, full wanton on the flowering thorn. Reminds me of departed joys, departed never to return. Oft have I roved by bonny Doon to see the woodbine twine, and ilka bird sang of his love, and fondly so did I of mine. With lightsome heart I pulled a rose for blooming on the flowery tree. But my false lover stole my rose and left, and I the thorn with me. I'm sorry I screwed up so much there. It just came into my head to sing that song, and there was some problems in getting the sentence right.
Which school in South East London was it?
I was in Peckham and New Cross.
Which
I grew up as well as that you did.
where in New Cross? I went to the Monson Road in New Cross.
Oh, I know Monson Road. I went to the boys' club down there on just the old Kent Road, yeah. But my road was Lawson Road.
I think we're unfortunately we missed the last bit of that one for the interval. I think, David, if you want to finish off that story, I'm afraid. But yeah, never apologise for screwing up. Nobody notices most of the time. So yeah, that was lovely. Good to almost start with a bit of Burns. Okay, it's David Kidman now, and then Jeanne and Phil.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Happy Burns night. Continuing in the... Oh yeah, that was a fond kiss, I think. And now, Burns song number two, my favourite Burns song. Song composed in August. And you all know what that is. Now Westlin winds and slaughtering guns bring autumn's pleasant weather, and the moorcock springs on whirring wings among the blooming heather. Now waving grain wild o'er the plain delights the weary farmer, and the moon shines bright as I rove at night to muse upon my charmer. The partridge loves the fruitful fells, the plover loves the mountains, the woodcock haunts the lonely dells, the soaring heron the fountains. Through lofty groves the cushat roves, the path of man to shun it. The hazel bush o'erhangs the thrush, the spreading thorn the linnet. Thus every kind their pleasure find, the savage and the tender. Some social join, some leagues combine, some solitary wander. Avaunt away the cruel sway, tyrannic man's dominion, the sportsman's joy and the murdering cry, the fluttering gory pinion. But Peggy dear, the evening's clear, thick flies the skimming swallow, The sky is blue, the fields in view, all fading green and yellow. Come, let us stray our gladsome way and view the charms of nature, the rustling corn and the fruited thorn, and every happy creature. We'll gently walk and sweetly talk till the silent moon shines clearly. I'll grasp thy waist and fondly pressed swear how I love thee dearly. Not vernal showers to budding flowers, not autumn to the farmer, so dear can be as thou to me, my fair and lovely charmer. Not vernal showers to autumn flowers, not autumn to the farmer, so dear can be as thou to me, my fair, my lovely charmer.
Lovely song. Glenn.
Now all up on like.
So that's two of the most popular Burns songs claimed already, folks. You may need to revise your plans for singing this evening, but thank you, David. That is a lovely song. Okay, Jeanne and Phil now, and then Sheila Miller.
We're not intruding on Burns, so you can breathe a sigh of relief there. We're going to the other special day this week, which is Holocaust Memorial Day. And this is a song about Raoul Wallenberg, who was a Swedish diplomat, an envoy in the Second World War into Nazi-occupied Budapest. And he used his diplomatic status to enable something like 20,000 Jews to avoid deportation, at a great risk to himself. And when the Soviets eventually reoccupied Budapest, for some reason they imprisoned him, and nothing really reliable was heard of him since. But he was a great hero.
You talk to me through the lonely night, you talk to me through the day. We sat and watched while the sun went down, and all I could do was stay. You had the voice of 1,000 wings beating together in flight. Purpose to go anywhere, but above all to stay for the fight. It's always so easy to keep your voice low, never to speak out of turn. Always faithful to feel to be right, to keep quiet and never be heard. But Wallenberg never was such a man to keep to himself what he'd learned. He acted alone to his conscience within and stone unturned. It was this one man they call Wallenberg, put his thoughts into actions, not words. Thousands of people were saved from their death, dragged down and away from the trains. It's always so easy to keep the voice low, never to speak out of turn, never to say what you feel to be right, to keep quiet and never be heard. Where are you now? We all hear the call. Did you die long ago, as was told? Or are you still living with hope still undimmed, living tired and drold? It's always so easy to keep your voice low, never to speak out of turn, never to say what you feel to be right, to keep quiet and never be heard, to keep quiet and never be heard.
Good one.
Well done.
Thank you for that, and thank you for the reminder of the Holocaust Memorial Day. That's a really important anniversary, obviously, and imagine you might not be the last this evening to commemorate it. So looking forward to those songs as well. Okay, is one from Sheila Miller now, and then Steve Suffet.
This is one of my favourite Burns songs, and I haven't sung it for a very long time, so I'm cheating, and I've got the book in front of me, and I had no idea where to pitch it. It needs a glossary really, but there's no time for that. So. Is there for honest poverty that hangs as heathen are, that the coward slave we pass him by, we dare be poor for all that, and all that, our toils obscure and all that, the rank is but the guinea stamp, the man's the goat for all that. What though on hamely fare we dine, wear hodden grey and all that, gie fools their silks and knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, the tinsel show and all that, the honest man, though ne'er so poor, is king o' men for all that. You see yon Birkie called a lord, wha struts and stares and all that, though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a coof for all that. For all that and all that, his ribboned star and all that, the man o' independent mind, he looks and laughs at all that. A prince can mak a belted knight, a marquis, duke, and all that, but an honest man's abune his might, good faith he manna for that. For all that and all that, their dignities and all that, the pith o' sense and pride o' worth, are higher rank than all that. Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will for all that, then send that sense and worth o'er all the earth shall bear the gree and all that. For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that, that man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that. And women shall be sisters as well, although he didn't say that.
Well sung, Sheila. Lovely.
Great song, Sheila.
It's coming yet, but it's taking its time, I have to say. So, yeah, world brotherhood and sisterhood. Yeah, enough. Okay, so it's Steve Suffet next, and then one from Tara, please.
Let me unmute myself. I'm going to try something I've never tried before here, but let's see. Well met, my own true love. Well met, cried he. Oh, I've just returned from the salt, salt sea, and it's all for the love of thee. This is an Appalachian version of a Scottish popular ballad. You all know what it is, so you could sing along with me. Let's try that again. Well met, my own true love. Well met, cried he. Oh, I've just returned from the salt, salt sea, and it's all for the love of thee. And I could have married with a king's daughter fair. She would have married with me. But I've forsaken all the crowns and the gold, and it's all for the love of thee. Well, if you could have married with a king's daughter fair, I know you are now to blame. For I have wedded with a house carpenter, and I find him a fine young man. Will you forsake your house carpenter, and sailing go then with me? I will take you to where the grass is evergreen, far across the salt, salt sea. If I forsake my house carpenter, and sailing go then with thee, what wealth have you to maintain me then, and keep me from poverty? 6 ships out on the salt sea, 7 more upon dry land. 169 bold sailing men so fine would be by your command. So she picks up her wee little babe, and kisses she gives him 3, saying, stay right here, my own precious dear, and keep your daddy company. They'd not been sailing but about 2 weeks. I'm sure that it was not 3, when she espied his cloven hooves and began to weep most bitterly. Yes, that's the telltale sign, those cloven hooves over there. Are you weeping for your house and your land? And are you weeping for your store? Or are you weeping for your house carpenter, who never you shall see more? It's not that I'm weeping for my house and my land. It's not that I'm weeping for my store. But it's I that I'm weeping for my immortal soul, that never I shall have more. They'd not been sailing but about 3 weeks. I'm sure that it was not 4, when their ship sprang the greatest of leaks, and sank to rise no more. What hills are those, my love? What hills so bright and so high? Oh, those are the hills of heaven, my love, where never go you and I. What hills are those, my love? What hills so dark and so low? Oh, those are the hills of hell, my love, where you and I now go. The Demon Lover, Scottish popular ballad, and that's an Appalachian version of it. And I know there's a child number and I know there's a Roud number, but off top of my head, I totally forgot what they are. Someone could add them if they know. Thank you.
I think we'll forgive you for not knowing the numbers. Moral of that story, never trust a man with cloven hooves. Okay, it's over to Tara, and then we will have Jim Lucas after her. But just before Tara comes on, a reminder to singers, if you haven't put your hand up yet, please do, your electronic one to put in, to get in the singers list. And also everyone who has sung, please put the details of your song in the chat for everyone to see and for David Kidman to do his magic collating them. Okay, over to you now, Tara.
Hello. So as it's Burns night, I decided not to do a Burns one. That's just because I'm just naturally contrary. So I'm going to do a song that is by Marcus Turner, which I heard in Dunedin in New Zealand years and years ago when I was touring over there. And Dunedin, well, this is my tenuous link, comes from Edinburgh. I mean, it's very Scottish down there. The name, as you can think, Dunedin, Edinburgh, is very close. Anyway, that's my tenuous link. Marcus Turner writes some great songs like Spider in the Bath. And this one is about a subject very close to my heart, chocolate. I just need to explain a couple of things before I sing it. I've put the words in the chat of the chorus if you want to sing along to the chorus. And also, hokey pokey is the New Zealand word for honeycomb. For those in England, I don't know what it's called in America. Maybe it's called honeycomb there too. The stuff that's in the crunchy bar anyway. And also, I think you'll remember years ago, most people remember in those kind of days, when Nestle wasn't Nestle but Nestles, and you had an advert for Nestle's Milky Bar with a little kid dressed up as a cowboy. So you'll find the references in there anyway as I sing along. So here we go. Just be careful, like I said, on the pronunciation, because you could end up saying some really nasty words. I'm actually going to keep the words here so I don't mess up. Anyway, here we go. When you're tired and depressed and feeling lonely, when your checkbook's in the red and you are blue, when you've left the freezer open or your rubber band is broken or you've dropped the toilet paper down the loo. You have to be very careful about doing that when there's panic buying on toilet paper. If you feel a sudden urge to wash the bread knife, or to sniff at the exhaust pipe of your car, or to farewell those you love and take a nap inside the oven, stop. Salvation's just a sup from where you are. When you're feeling down, the best way up is chocolate. It's the answer that will get you through the day. Let me get my teeth around something small and square and brown, and I'll masticate until I feel okay. Now when God had finished making all the heavens, and the valleys and the mountains and the seas, and the weather and the weasels and the squid and German measles, and the gherkins and Hong Kong and all the fleas, on the seventh day when he was sitting resting, he was feeling in a very chipper mood. There came one more inspiration for one last divine creation, something fit to please a God that could be chewed. When you're feeling down, the best way up is chocolate. It's the answer that will get you through the day. Let me get my teeth around something small and square and brown, and I'll masticate until I feel okay. When I see a bar of chocolate, this is really true, lying idle, it always seems to find its way inside my jaws. It's a shame to mess about, 'cause it tastes better in than out, and it's going to a very worthy cause. That's me. And although it won't endear me to my dentist, and my doctor will be worried for my health, I am diabetic after all, and it's given me a skin full of enormous oily pimples. I'm still feeling very good about myself. When you're feeling down, the best way up is chocolate. It's the only thing to get you through the day. Let me get my teeth around something small and square and brown, and I'll masticate until I feel okay. Just remember, if it's chocolate, you can eat it. The reverse is not necessarily true. Chocolate eggs and chocolate fish and chocolate chips. Chocolate steak and moose and frogs, chocolate beans and mice and logs. Let a chocolate bomb explode across your lips. Some is crunchy and is filled with hokey pokey. Some is thrown about by cowboys and is white. There's a whole world out there waiting, don't just sit there salivating. Pull your socks up, chocks away, and bite, bite, bite. You will never have a bad trip eating chocolate. And it's tastier than sex and much more fun. Actually, it's quite good if you do the two together. Keep your pills and dope and glue and your gin and whiskey too, 'cause there's no buzz like a chocolate buzz bar none. If you really, really love me, give me chocolate. Give me chocolate till it's coming out my ears. All I crave is just enough so I can indolently stuff myself for years and 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 years. If you're feeling down, the best way up is chocolate. It's the only thing to get you through the day. Let me get my teeth around something small and square and brown, and I'll masticate until I feel okay. Yes, I'll masticate my miseries away. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, Tara.
Well done, Tara. Worthy of the bard himself. Great stuff. I've not heard that before. That's so good. Okay, now
The chocolate bard, of course.
Ah, the chocolate bar.
Exactly. I think Burns would have written it if he'd tasted today's chocolate.
Absolutely. Okay, one from Jim Lucas now, and then Bob Askew.
Okay, this is an old favorite, and I learned it from an Irishman, and though I knew it was Scottish, but I only later discovered that Burns is responsible for at least a version of it. Oh, Leezie Lindsay, and the first verse becomes a chorus. Whoops. My fingers are having trouble. Will you gang to the Highlands, Leezie Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will you gang to the Highlands, Leezie Lindsay? Me bride and me darling to be. Will I gang to the Highlands with you, sir? No, I don't think that ever could be, for I know not the land that ye live in, nor know I the name ye go with. Will ye gang to the Highlands, Leezie Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Highlands with me? Will ye gang to the Highlands, Leezie Lindsay? Me bride and me darling to be. Well, it's lost, I must think you know little, if you say that you dinna ken me. For my name 'tis Lord Donald MacDonald, I'm a chieftain of high degree. Will you gang to the Highlands, Leezie Lindsay? Will you gang to the Highlands with me? Will ye gang to the Highlands, Leezie Lindsay, me bride and me darling to be? So she scalded up her skirts of green satin, and she scalded them up above her knee, and she's gone with Lord Donald MacDonald, his bride and his darling to be.
Hey, great.
Now the line about the tune I ended with. Safe to the wedding.
That's a lovely song and good to hear the whistle with it. Thank you. Okay, Bob Askew is next, and then one from Graham Baldwin.
Right. It's great to have Tim Radford here most weeks now because he sings Hampshire songs, although he lives in America. I wanted to reply to his Broken Down Gentleman of last week. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to be here this week, but I'm going to sing it anyway. Broken Down Gentleman's about the evils of gambling. I want to sing a song on the other side, which shows a rather more happy ending. It's called The Penny Wagers, collected from a man called William Stockley in Loxheath near Titchfield in 1907 by George Gardiner. He was sensible enough not to have a second bet though. I saddled my horse and away I did ride. I came to an alehouse all by the roadside. I pulled my horse up and I set myself down. I called for a glass of good ale that was brown, sing foller oldie, and in my pocket but 1 penny. I saw some noblemen playing at dice. They took me to be some gentleman nice. They playing dice and I looking on. They took me to be some gentleman's son, sing foller oldie, and in my pocket but 1 penny. They asked me a game if I would play. I asked them what wager they would lay. One said a guinea, the other £5. The money was bet, but no money lay down, sing foller oldie, and in my pocket but 1 penny. I took up my dice and I gave them a fling. It was my good fortune then for to win, 'cause if they had a won and I had a lost, I've had to give up my little black horse, sing foller oldie, and in my pocket but 1 penny. I stayed there that night and arose the next day, but it's time to be jogging away. I found the landlady, her for to pay, nothing but kiss me, be on your way, sing foller oldie, and in my pocket but 1 penny, sing foller oldie, and in my pocket but 1 penny.
Well, it's a shame Tim's not here to hear your reply to him, Bob, but you can always listen to it on YouTube, eh? Okay, one from Graham Baldwin now, and then Wendy, please.
Well, as everybody's been saying, it was Robbie Burns Day yesterday, and yesterday I attended 3 Burns sessions. So if you'll pardon the pun, personally, though I like the songs, I'm a little bit burned out. So I'm going to move on. So I'm going to move on to the next celebration, or the next, next celebration, of course, is Candlemas. Candlemas is February the 2nd, and it commemorates the presentation of Jesus to the temple. And Candlemas Eve is February the 1st, which is next Monday, is the last day for taking down your Christmas decorations. So if you've still got your Christmas decorations up, you've got 6 days to get them down. After that, it's bad luck. So this song is based on a poem by Robert Herrick, the 17th century English poet. And you probably know this one anyway, but here it goes. Down with the rosemary and bays, down with the mistletoe. Instead of holly, now upraise the greener box to show, the greener box to show. Last times to shift, last times to shift, each thing takes time, does hold. New things succeed, new things succeed, as for the wind, the road. The holly hither to its sway, let box now dominate, until the dancing Easter day, on Easter's Eve, appear, on Easter's Eve, appear. Last times do shift, last times do shift, each thing is turned, is whole. New things succeed, new things succeed, as for the ways of old. Then youthful box, which now hath grace, your houses to renew. Lord, all surrender must his place unto the crisper dew, unto the crisper dew. Last times do shift, last times do shift, each thing is turned, doth hold. New things succeed, new things succeed, as for the things of old. When dew is out, then birch comes in, and many flowers beside, both of a fresh and fragrant kin, to honour Whitsuntide, to honour Whitsuntide. Last times do shift, last times do shift, each thing is turned, doth hold. New things succeed, new things succeed, as for the things of old. Green rushes then, and sweetened drinks, with cooler oaken boughs, come in for comely ornament, to re-adorn a house, to re-adorn a house. Last times do shift, last times do shift, each thing is turned, doth hold. New things succeed, new things succeed, as for the things of old. Last times do shift, last times do shift, each thing is turned, doth hold. New things succeed, new things succeed, as for the things of old.
Thank you for that, Graham. I didn't know that about the 1st of February being the the last day to take down Christmas decorations. I thought it was the 6th of January. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, slightly alarmed to observe that the puns are making their way out of the written chat into the actual chat. I think we need to crack down on that kind of nonsense. Anyway, Wendy, please sort us out. And after Wendy, one from John White.
Okay, I'm no good at puns, so that's just as well. This isn't exactly Burns Night, but it's kind of got echoes of Burns's song Red, Red Rose. But this is the Vaughan Williams version. Fare you well, my dear, I must be gone and leave you for a while. If I roam away, I'll come back again, though I roam 10,000 miles, my dear, though I roam 10,000 miles. So fair thou art, my bonny, bonny lass, so deep in love am I. But I never will prove false to the bonny lass I love, till the stars fall from the sky, my dear, till the stars fall from the sky. The sea will never run dry, my dear, nor the rocks never melt with the sun. And I never will prove false to the bonny lass I love, till all these things be done, my dear, till all these things be done. Oh, yonder doth sit that little turtle dove, he doth sit on yonder high tree, making a moan for the loss of his love, as I will do for thee, my dear, as I will do for thee.
Lovely, Wendy.
Yes.
Lovely stuff, Wendy. Thank you. Okay, it is John White next, and then one from Alice Dillon.
Well, we're not only celebrating Burns's anniversary, but also Ewan MacColl's anniversary, which was yesterday. So here's one of Ewan's songs, which I think typifies the genius of his writing. It's the net hauling song, quite short, but I think very evocative. Come, busk up, my lads, get you up on the deck and take up your stations for hauling the nets. And mind you pull together, boys, all through the night and sweat in your oilskins until it's daylight at the heaving and hauling and shaking the nets. It's when we start hauling, we're living in hopes. The boy in the locker, the lads on the ropes, and the fellas in the hold who are pulling the net and shaking the herring out onto the deck with the heaving and hauling and shaking the nets. It's net after net that comes up from the sea with a haul and a shake and a 1, 2, and 3. And the herring are a piling around your sea boots and slithering and sliding down into the chutes with the heaving and hauling and shaking the nets. It's hour after hour we are hauling away all through the long night till the dawn of the day. Then the skipper's in the wheelhouse He's on the RT, and the cook's in the galley, brewing the tea. And we've finished with heaving and hauling the nets. Net hauling song.
Excellent stuff.
Brilliant.
Thanks for the reminder of, yes, another anniversary, Ewan MacColl. Yeah, thanks, John. Okay, now Alice Dillon joined us for the first time last week and delighted to see she's back this week. So looking forward to hear what you've got for us, Alice. And after Alice, one from Rich Galloway, please.
Thanks for having me back. So I thought I would sing a song called My Lagan Love. Just a moment. Where Lagan stream sings lullaby, there blows a lily fair. The twilight gleam is in her eye, and the night is on her hair. And like a lovesick Lennon she hath my heart in thrall. No life I own, nor liberty, for love is Lord of all. Her father sails a running barge twixt Leftbeck and the Drew, and on the lonely river marge she clears his hearth for him. When she was only very high, her gentle mother died, but due love keeps her memory green on the Lagan side. And often when the beetle's horn hath lulled the eve to sleep, I'll steal into her shieling lawn, and through the doorway creep. There on this cricket singing stone she stirs the bogwood fire, and hums in soft, sweet undertones the song of heart's desire. Her welcome like her love for me is from her heart within. Her warm kiss is felicity that knows no taint of sin. And when I stir my foot to go, 'tis leaving love and light, to feel the wind of longing blow from out the dark of night.
Oh, lovely, lovely, delicious. Stunner.
Lovely, Alice. Thank you. Sorry you have to follow that, Rich, but somebody had to. And sure you'll do us or something justice. Do you do yourself or us? Or anyway, I'll stop babbling. After Rich, one from Angie Blesky, please.
Thank you. Yeah, and I did
decide to change my song. I didn't really want to follow that with a sad love song. But, anyway, this is a kind of fun song. And I will say, I don't really do Burns songs. My grandmother was a Burns, and she did not think it very highly at all of Robert. I suspect because she was very conservative religiously, and Robert went the other way, shall we say. And do I need to explain a couple things? This is a contest between lumbermen, and they're hauling out logs on big sleds. They're called skids, but they slide over the snow. They're about the size of a tandem truck or lorry, semi trucks we call them in the U.S. And there's a reference to three to 1,000 our contract is called. That means 3 trees per 1,000 feet. So they want enormous trees in their contract. And there's a reference to hold down the beam. It's referring to a balance scale, but of course they're not actually measuring the logs on the scale. It just means that it's a, what do you, anyway, it just means they're being measured. So, not a thing in the woods had McCluskey to fear as he swung the goat stick o'er his big spotted steers. Young, strong, and quick, girding 8 foot and 3, said McCluskey the Scotsman, just the laddies for me. It's next Gumball Gordon, the skidding was full as he hauled out the bush with his little brown bulls. Short-legged and shaggy, girding 6 feet and 9. Too light, said McCluskey, to handle our pine. For it's 3 to 1,000 our contract is called. Our skidding is good and our timber is tall, said McCluskey to Gordon, to make the day full. I will skid 2 to 1 to your little brown bulls. Oh no, said Bull Gordon, that you never can do, though your big spotted steers are the pets of the crow. But mind you, my laddie, you'll have your hands full if you skid 1 more log than my little brown bulls. So the day was appointed, and soon it grew nigh. For $25 their fortunes to try. Both eager and anxious that morning what was found. The judges and scalers appeared on the ground. That morning, said Gordon, with blood in his eye, today I will conquer McCluskey or die. Said Sandy to Gordon, we'll take off their skins. We'll dig them a grave and we'll tumble them in. So it's first Gumball Gordon with his little brown bulls, with a pipe in his mouth and a cut in each jaw, saying, chew your cuds, but little did I think when I saw them come round, that 140 they'd easily yank round. With a whoop and a yell came McCluskey in view, with his big spotted steers, the pets of the crow, saying, chew your cuds slowly, boys, keep your mouths full, for you easily can conquer those little brown bulls. When the sun it went down, our foreman did say, turn in, boys, turn in, we've enough for today. For well have we counted each man for his team. Very well do we know which team holds down the beam. After supper was over, McCluskey appeared with a belt ready made for his big spotted steers. To make it, he tore up his best Mackinaw. He was bound to conduct it according to law. But up speaks our scaler, saying, hold on just a while. But your big spotted steers are behind by a mile. You've skidded 110, but no more. Gordon has beat you by 10 and a score. And the boys, how they hollered in McCluskey Square as he tore out by handfuls his long yellow hair. Said McCluskey to Gordon, my dollars you'll pull, and the belt you shall have for your little brown bulls. So here's to Bull Gordon and the big Sandy John, for the biggest day's work on Wolf River ever was done. So it's fill up your bumpers, boys, fill them plumb full, and we'll drink to the health of those little brown bulls.
Here's to the health of the little brown bulls, and thank you, particularly like the whooping and yelling somehow. Okay, great. So now we have, I think, a brand new newcomer to Sharps in isolation, possibly a newcomer to Sharps altogether, in the form of Angie Blesky. So welcome, Angie. Looking forward to hearing you sing or perform in some way. Just to say, after Angie, it will be a song from Martin Ryan, please. But big Sharps welcome for Angie.
I'd just like to compliment everybody on their Scottish language skills first. I think they did really well. So, can you hear me? I'm going to sing a song. It's a breaking from the traditional songs you've been singing, but it's called Song on the Radio. I'm driving, I'm speeding down the coast road. The wind's blowing fast, time's moving slow. I'm waiting for you where the sea is so blue, where my heart keeps turning to sweet thoughts of you. And I'm listening to a song on the radio. It's saying all the things that I want you to know. Like life's worth living with you by my side. You make everything special. You make me alive. I'm singing from the rooftops and dancing in the streets. I'm saying to everybody I meet, each time I see you, my heart skips a beat. You light up my life, you make me complete. And I'm listening to a song on the radio. It's saying all the things that I want you to know. Like life's worth living with you by my side. You make everything special. You make me alive. Well, we're walking and talking, love and kisses do flow. And as the years pass, we'll see our love grow. Well, I love you now as I loved you before. You're my heaven on earth, I couldn't ask for more. And I'm listening to a song on the radio, saying all the things that I want you to know. Like listening to the song on the radio, saying all the things that I want you to know. Life's worth living with you by my side. You make everything special. You make me alive. You make me alive.
Want to get up and start waltzing to that one. Wow. What a great waltz. Fantastic.
Well, that went down well, Angie. You can come back. Thank you. Where are you singing from? Where are you in the world just now? You're on mute, so we can't hear you. Unmute? Unmute and tell us. Never mind. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm in northwest London at the moment.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, you can come to Sharps when it's back in the basement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah, great stuff. Okay. Thank you. So Martin Ryan is next, and then I'm going to sing after Martin in order to avoid having two Martins in a row, because after me it'll be Martin Neil. So Martin Ryan first, please.
Can you hear me, Mother? There we are. Yes, I'm not going to sing a Scottish song, having had a disaster at Mudcat last night when my audio wasn't doing what I thought it was doing. But on the other hand, the Irish heroes of old would claim that they could throw a spear from here to Scotland. If I were King of Ireland's Isle, with all things at my will, I'd roam throughout creation and seek for comfort still. And the comfort I would ask for, so that you may understand, is to win the heart of Martha, the flower of sweet Strabane. Her cheeks they are a ruby red, her hair a lovely brown, and o'er her milk-white shoulders it carelessly hangs down. She is the fairest creature, the pride of all her clan, and my heart is captivated by the flower of sweet Strabane. Well, I've been in the Phoenix Park, and in Killarney Fair, the lovely glens of Antrim and the winding banks of Clare. In all my earthly travels, I never yet met one that could compare, I do declare, with the flower of sweet Strabane. But since I cannot gain her love, no joy there is for me, and I must seek forgetfulness in a land across the sea. Unless she cares to follow me, I swear by my right hand, McGilligan's face you'll ne'er more see, with the flower of sweet Strabane. So it's farewell to sweet Derry Quay, New Mills and Waterside. I'm bound out o'er the ocean for whatever may betide. I'll sail away from Derry Quay, out by the Isle of Man, and I'll bid farewell to Martha, the flower of sweet Strabane. Sinna will.
Thanks very much, Martin. Martin singing about Martha. Yeah, great. Okay, so as I said, Martin Neil will be after me. So prepare yourself, Martin. And I'm going to sing a Burns song. It is one of my favourite Burns songs, but I don't sing it very often. So I used to, and then I stopped. But it is from one of the episodes in which he was generally very, very, very badly behaved, and in this song he's at one of his most badly behaved times, when he was married and had kids and used to pop down to the local pub to have it away with the barmaid who went by the name of Anna, and this is about her. Yestreen I had a pint of wine, a place where buddies sauna. Yestreenly on the spreest of mine, the Cowden locks o' Anna. The hungry Jew in wilderness, rejoicing o'er his manna, was Nathan to my honey bliss upon the lips o' Anna. Ye monarchs tak the east and west, frae Indus to Savannah. Give me within my straining grasp the melting form o' Anna. There I'll despise imperial charms, an empress or sultana. And dying raptures in her arms, I'll gie and take wi' Anna. Awa, ye flaunting god o' day, awa, thou pale Diana, ilk star gae hide thy twinkling ray, when I've to meet my Anna. Come in thy raven plumage, night, sun, moon, and stars withdrawn, oh, and send an angel pen to write my transports wi' my Anna. The kirk and state may join and tell, to do such things I mauna. The kirk and state may go to hell, and I'll go to my Anna. She is the sunshine o' my ee, to live but her I canna. Had I on earth but wishes three, the first would be my Anna.
Yay! Splendid.
And I bet you say that to all the girls.
Robert Burns certainly did say that to all the girls. It's a different woman in every single song. Anyway, that was me, and therefore we now have Martin Nail, and then Alicia, you're on the phone. I didn't see if your hand was up or not, but I would love it if you would sing, because I know you missed out last week, so I hope you will. I put something in the chat if you are not ready to sing this evening. Okay, over to you, Martin Nail.
Right, I'm not going to sing a Burns song, firstly because I don't know any, and even if I did, someone would have already sung it. So I'm just going to sing a song which probably everybody knows that I haven't. It's one of these songs that I think I used to sing about 30 years ago, and it's sort of disappeared out of my memory and has come back again. So I thought I would sing it. Johnny Todd, he took an ocean for to cross the stormy sea, and he left his true love behind him, walking on the Liverpool strand. For a week she wept full sorely, tore her hair and wrung her hands. Then she met with another sailor, walking on the Liverpool sands. Why, fair maid, are you a weeping for your Johnny gone to sea? If you will marry me tomorrow, I will kind and constant be. I will buy you sheets and blankets, I'll buy you a guinea gold ring. I will buy you a silver cradle for to rock your babies in.
Johnny Todd returned from sailing, sailing o'er the ocean wide, and he found that his fair and false one was another sailor's bride. So all young men who go a-sailing for to fight the foreign foe, do not leave your true love like Johnny. Marry her before you go.
Good advice there, Martin, at the end. Great stuff. Okay, so now we welcome Alicia, who has been listening the last few sessions, but now is, I hope, going to give us a song. And Alicia, it'd be great if you could let us know whereabouts in the world you are singing from. Then after Alicia, something from Racker Donnelly, please. Are you there, Alicia?
Can she?
And can you unmute yourself? This is where there's so many windows, I don't even know if people are there.
I can't unmute her.
Okay. Okay, I think we'll have to leave it for now. I'll try and come back to you in case it's just a technical glitch. But Alicia, if you can hear this, maybe you could dial out and back in at the break or something. Okay, right. In that case, it is time for Racker Donnelly, and after Racker, one from Hazel Richings.
Hi, hope I'm audible. Am I?
You are
Yeah,
indeed.
I can be heard, right? I'm a great fan of Robert Burns, and I've done about 20 Burns nights. And the centerpiece was his masterpiece, namely Tam O'Shanter. And for years I did it. And as Sheila says, sometimes Burns needs a glossary. So I used to put out a glossary of 33 words and phrases that people, especially English or Irish people, might find a trifle troublesome in Tam O'Shanter. But I realized that the people who were reading these glossaries with immense interest, I'm sure, but all the humor and humanity had gone out of it. So in the spirit of Burns, who again, as Sheila said, was a great rewriter, I had a go at it. So now it's comprehensible, except possibly for the term Cutty Sark, which is not a boat, not a ship. The ship is named after the poem, or after the term in the poem, Cutty Sark, which means a mini skirt. So away we go. When street traders leave the street, and thirsty neighbours meet, and we sit boozing at the ale, happy, hearty, holy grail. We think not of the long Scots miles, the marshes, waters, crags and stiles that lie between us and our house, where sits our sulky, sullen spouse, gathering her brows like gathering storm, nursing a wrath to keep it warm. She told you well you were a skellum, a blithering, blustering, drunken blillum, that from November till October, no market day we ever sober. That at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank with Kirkton Jean till Monday. Kate prophesied that late or soon you be found deep drowned in the River Doon, or stashed the witches in the mire by Alloway's old haunted spire. But to our tale, that winter's night, Tam had got himself warm and bright, close to a wood fire blazing finely, with cheery chums who drank divinely. At his elbow, cobbler Johnny, his ancient, trusty, thirsty crony, the landlady, and Tam grew gracious with favours sacred, sweet and precious. A storm outside might roar and rustle, Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies, spread, you pluck the flower, the bloom is dead, or like the snow falls of the river, a moment white, then melts forever, or like the rainbow's lovely form, a vanishing amid the storm. No man can tether time nor tide, the hour approaches, Tam must ride, and such a night he takes the road in as never sinner was abroad in. Well mounted on his good mare Meg, a better never lifted leg. Tam gallops on through mud and mire, disdaining rain and wind and fire, while clasping fast his good blue bonnet, while crooning sweet some old Scots sonnet, while glancing back with prudent cares lest bogles catch him unawares. Alloway church is drawing nigh, where ghosts and owlets nightly cry. Atween the branches beams are glancing, and loud resounds mad mirth and dancing. Meg, she stands, afeared, astonished, until by heel and hand admonished she ventures forward on the light, and oh, they see a truly gruesome sight. A whirl of witches, dancing reels, mocking laughter at their heels. The devil, as a black dog large, to give them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and made 'em skirl, to roof and rafters all did swirl. Gaping coffins stood around, showing the dead in their last gown, and by some evil conjured sight, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the holy table a murderer's bones in gibbet irons, two swaddled, wee unchristened bairns, 5 tomahawks were murdered crusted, 5 scimitars were murder rusted. Priests' hearts, rotten, black as muck, lay sinking vile in every nook. 3 lawyers' tongues turned outside in with lies looked like the fruits of sin. But as Tam stared aghast and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The devil loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they jigged, they crossed a shrieking, sorceresses sweating, reeking, cast their garments to the dark and went on at it in their sark. Ah, Tam, had they been luscious lassies, plump and plumptious in their chassis, these breeks o' mine, my only pair, that once were plush of good blue hair, and I cast them off my hurdy-gurdies for one blink of the bonny birdies. But mildewed madams, old and droll, I wouldn't touch with a long barged pole. Laughing and leaping from hummock to hummock, I wonder it didn't turn your stomach. But Tam fell under the sudden spell of Annie, Nanny, a bonny Jezebel. Her cutty sark of paisley yarn, that since a lassie she had worn, in longitude though cut so curt, she loved it well, more shirt than skirt. Tam gazed and gaped like one bewitched, and thought his very eyes enriched. Till first one caper, then another, Tam lost his reason altogether, and roared out, "Well done, cutty sark!" And in an instant, all was dark. Scarcely had he his dear mare rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied. Meg she runs, the witches after, pell-mell and yell and screaming laughter. Ah, do they speedy utmost, Meg, to gain the keystone of the bridge. that at them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they dare not cross. But afore the keystone she could make, nary a tail had she to shake. For Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Meg she pressed. With frenzied force she flew at Tam and his splendid horse. A spring brought out Meg's master, hail, but tore awa her own grey tail. Nanny had clutched her by the rump and left the poor nag scarce a stump. Now who this tale of truth should hear, each man and mother's son should fear. Whenever to drink you are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think you may win those joys too dear. Remember, Tam O'Shanter's mare.
That's what they call a tour de force. That's a tour de force.
Tour de force.
Wonderful stuff, Racker. And that is why the figurehead of the Cutty Sark is a young woman in a short skirt holding the tail of a horse. So have a look next time you're visiting the Cutty Sark in Greenwich. Okay, so that was Racker. Our last singer for the first half is Hazel Richings. So Hazel, over to you before we have a break.
Thank you. And Racker, that was magnificent. Yeah, fancy having to follow that one. This is yet another anniversary that today in 1968, the Kingston Peridot sent its last message saying they were struggling with icing up. And it was one of 3 vessels lost out of Hull. This is a true story of Linda Kelly's husband, John, who didn't sail on that trip. And many of you know it, but this is The Luckiest Sailor by Linda Kelly. I've been fishing the sea since a lad of 15, not a stretch of the ocean where I haven't been. And I've seen northern lights and the whalefish at play, and I've slept through the dog watch, been fined half me pay. And I've prayed long and hard in a westerly storm, and I dreamt of the young girls who helped keep me warm, and I sat with the old jacks and listened in glee to the tales of the women, the drink, and the sea. I'm the luckiest sailor that Hull ever knew, when the Kingston ship sank with the loss of her crew, and I prayed for their lives, sons and their wives, on the day that the Peridot perished. I was a young sailor with settle in hand, from trolling in Iceland with whitefish to land, and I'm dressed to the nines in me ruckerback tails, and I'm off down the Stricky to sink a few ales. Well, I'll tell you a tale of the taxman and me. He's been robbing me blind since I first went to sea, so I says to the skipper, I'll spend time ashore, 'cause I'm damned if that taxman will have any more. I'm the luckiest sailor that Hull ever knew, when the Kingston ship sank with the loss of her crew, and I prayed for their lives, sons and their wives, on the day that the Peridot perished. Well, a whisper was heard that a Hull ship was down with no chance of a rescue. Her men had all drowned, and I sucked up me ale, and I knew in my head that that Hull ship was my ship, and me mates were all dead. And the coins in my pocket weighed heavy that day, and it took me no courage to give them away, and my mind took me back to the long days at sea, and I asked the good Lord why me mates and not me. I'm the luckiest sailor that Hull ever knew, when the Kingston ship sank with the loss of her crew, and I prayed for their lives, sons and their wives, on the day that the Peridot perished. I'm the luckiest sailor that Hull ever knew, when the Kingston ship sank with the loss of her crew, and I prayed for their lives, sons and their wives, on the day that the Peridot perished.
Well sung, Hazel.
Come on.
Very moving song.
Oh, good, Hazel.
Thank you, Hazel. Wonderful finish to the first half. It is now time for us to take a break, so I'm just going to pause for.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. I was trying to get a Bourne song off, but I wasn't happy with it, so I'll sing something totally devoid of any anniversaries or anything else. Excuse me. My name is Gary Tyler, Louisiana born. Shadow of the poplar trees on fields all ripe with corn. Excuse me. 16 years I counted on the rising of the sun. I'm just waiting for the bus to take me home. Of all the disunited states, divided black and white, Louisiana taught me how to think and how to fight. 60 of us kids on board the number 91. I'm just waiting for the bus to take me home. Bus was barely moving, we were set upon and stopped. Watched 200 white boys throwing bottles, cans and rocks. Trapped and scared together, there was nowhere we could run. I'm just waiting for the bus to take me home. Boy outside the bus, an automatic in his hand. We heard a single shot and we all just hit the ground. I never pulled a trigger and I never fired a gun. I'm just waiting for the bus to take me home. White boy lay there bleeding, cops they searched the bus. Never found a thing to say that it was one of us. Took us down the station, they were beating us for fun. I'm just waiting for the bus to take me home. Gun produced from nowhere, pinned the crime on me. A lynch mob for a jury meant they'd never set me free. 40 years in prison for something I haven't done. I'm just waiting for the bus to take me home. Waiting, here the world has turned 10,000 times or more. Waiting like the man who never knew they'd stop the war. Waiting for a pardon, but the pardon never comes. I'm just waiting for the bus to take me home. Gary Tyler.
Song, Ray. Well sung.
That's a good one, Ray. Thanks for that. Oh, Bob, it's not you quite yet.
Oh, right, sorry.
It's hopefully it's Alicia. If her unmuting problem is solved, but if it isn't, then stand by, Bob. Alicia? Oh, I think we've still got the same
She's on the
problem.
telephone, isn't she? She needs to press. It's either *6 or *9 if you're on the phone.
Yeah, it wasn't working before. Can you try *9? Ah. This is a shame because when the first week Alicia was here, I called her and she unmuted and said she wasn't going to sing, and now she wants to sing, I think, and we can't have her. But okay, better luck next time. And in that case, you were right, Bob. It is you. And after Bob, then it's going to be Helen. But you'll want to unmute yourself, Bob. They're still not unmuted. Do we have a general unmuting problem?
No. You can hear me?
No, we can hear you,
Okay.
Dylan, but Bob, we should have. Bob, we can't hear you yet.
I can't unmute him either.
Ah,
Oh no, you were. There he is.
Hello,
yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, at last. Make it worthwhile.
Child number 10. There were two sisters in them bound, and naughty, oh, and naughty. There come a young lad to be their word, for the bonny damn size of me naughty. He courted the eldest with his penknife, me naughty, oh, me naughty. But he loved the youngest above his life, for the bonny damn size of me naughty. He gave the eldest a brooch and a ring, me naughty, oh, me naughty. But he loved the youngest above all things, for the bonny damn size of me naughty. Sister, sister, will you come to the broom, me naughty, oh, me naughty, to hear the blackbird change his tune, and we'll maybe see the lads of me naughty. And they walked up and they walked down, me naughty, oh, me naughty. Thrice the blackbird changed his tune, but they never saw the lads of me naughty. Sister, sister, will you come to the dam, me naughty, oh, me naughty, to see if our father ship be coming in, for the bonny dam size of me naughty. They went to the dam and they stood on a stone, me naughty, oh, me naughty. The eldest pushed the youngest down, for the bonny damn size of me naughty. She walked, she swam up, and she swam down, me naughty, oh, me naughty. She swam to where her sister did stand, for the bonny damn size of me naughty. Sister, sister, you can have the dam, me naughty, oh, me naughty. You can have the mill and all his land, for the bonny damn size of me naughty. It wasn't for that I pushed you down, me naughty, oh, me naughty. But you are fair and I am done, and you're drowned in the dams of me naughty. The miller's own daughter went out to the dam, me naughty, oh, me naughty, for water to wash her father's hands, to the bonny dam sides of me naughty. Father, father, come and throw your dam, me naughty, oh, me naughty. He's either a maid or a milk-white swan, as drowned in the dam of me naughty. They pulled her body on the bank to dry, me naughty, oh, me naughty. A fool with a fiddle come a riding by, with a bonny dab sides of me naughty. He made fiddle strings of her long yellow hair, me naughty, oh, me naughty. Made fiddle strings of her long yellow hair, to the bonny dab sides of me naughty. He made fiddle pegs of her long finger bones, me naughty, oh, me naughty. Made fiddle pegs of her long finger bones, for the bonny dab sides of me naughty. He made a fiddle out of her breastbone, me naughty, oh, me naughty. The sound would pierce a heart of stone, for the bonny dab sides of me naughty. The fool took the fiddle to the king's high hall, me naughty, oh, me naughty. There was music, dancing and all, for the bonny dab sides of me naughty. The fool laid the fiddle down on the stone, me naughty, oh, me naughty. It sang so loud and it sung all alone, for the bonny dab sides of me naughty. It sang, yonder sits my father the king, me naughty, oh, me naughty. Yonder sits my father the king, by the bonny dab sides of me naughty. And yonder sits my mother the queen, me naughty, oh, me naughty. How she weep at my burying, by the bonny dab sides of me naughty. And yonder sits my sister Anne, me naughty, oh, me naughty. She who drowned me in the dam, for the bonny dab sides of me naughty.
Well sung.
Proper old ballad that, Bob, and great accompaniment going with it. Thank you. Okay, so now it is time for Helen, and then one from Mary Hogan, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Good. So I'm going to sing a song by Robert Burns that I first heard through the singing of Ewan MacColl. So it's 2 for 1 here. Ewan MacColl's recordings introduced me to Scottish music, real Scottish music, traditional and particularly Robert Burns songs in an unsentimentalized versions of them. So this is Green Grow the Rashes O, and I learned this song many years ago for the last verse, to be able to sing the last verse, not the chorus or anything else with it really, but it leads up to it. I'm sure you all know it. There's naught but care on every hand. Let me start a little lower. There's naught but care on every hand, in every hour that passes all. What signifies the life of man, and 'twere not for the lasses all. Green grow the rashes all, green grow the rashes all. The sweetest hour that e'er I spent were spent among the lasses all. The worldly race may riches chase, and riches may them flee, we flee them all. And though at last they catch them fast, their hearts can ne'er enjoy them all. Green grow the rashes all, green grow the rashes all. The sweetest hour that e'er I spent was spent among the lasses all. But give me a canny hour at e'en, my arms about my dearie o, and worldly cares and worldly men may all go topsel-teary o. For you say deuce was near at this, You're naught but senseless asses all, the wisest man the world e'er saw. He dearly loved the lasses all. Old nature swears the lovely dears, her noblest work she classes all. Her prentice hand she tried on man, and then she made the lasses all. Green grow the rashes all, green grow the rashes all. The sweetest hours that e'er I spent were spent among the lasses all.
Liking that last verse, Ellen. I can understand your decision there. Okay, it's Mary Hogan and then one from David Diamond.
Hello, everyone. This isn't a bird's song. I actually heard it here at Sharp's, sung by Judy Cook, and I thought it was so beautiful, so I learned it. It's called Turning Towards the Morning. Oh, the deer is bedded down, and the bear is gone to ground, and the northern goose has wandered off to warmer bay and sound. It's so easy in the cold to feel the darkness of the year, and the heart is growing lonely for the morning. Oh, my Joni, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? And if I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning toward the morning. Now October's growing thin and November's coming home. You may think about the season and the sad things that you've seen. And you'll hear that old wind walking, hear him singing high and thin. You could swear he's out there singing of your sorrow. Oh, my Joni, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? If I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning toward the morning. When the darkness falls around you and the north wind starts to blow, and he seems to call your name out as he walks the brittle snow. That old wind don't mean you trouble. He don't care or even know. He's just walking down the darkness toward the morning. Oh, my Joni, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? And if I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning toward the morning. Oh, the deer is bedded down and the bear's gone to ground, and the northern goose has wandered off to warmer bay and sound. It's so easy in the cold to feel the darkness of the year, and the heart is growing lonely for the morning. Oh, my Joni, don't you know that the stars are swinging slow and the seas are rolling easy as they did so long ago? And if I had a thing to give you, I would tell you one more time that the world is always turning toward the morning.
Beautiful. Lovely. Very nice. A lovely song.
No, it's not.
Lovely, Mary, and good to know that this club was responsible for you coming across the song and learning it. Great. Okay, so David Diamond is next, and then one from Kate Portal.
Okay. Hello? Yes. Am I in? Yes, good. All this Robert Burns sounds. Unfortunately, I don't know any Robert Burns, but you brought out the inner Matt McGinn in me, which is kind of strange because I've never spent more than one day in Scotland in my life. But, I'll do my best. This is one, I think the first of his songs that I learned. And it dates from the space race of long ago when the Russians and the Americans were competing to see who was going to get to the moon first. And Matt McGinn favoured didn't favour the Americans anyway, as you will see. LBJ called in his men, and he says if we don't move soon, these Muscovites will be the first to put a man upon the moon. Aye, a man upon the moon. Then up there spake a wise old man, and a wise old man was he. The rockets are not ready yet, we can fire him from a tree. Aye, fire him from a tree. They took the man to the launching pad and they filled him up with rum. And LBJ, he cut the string and fired him to kingdom come. Aye, fired him to kingdom come. He spent a day on Mercury and 15 cents on Mars, and he's put the flag of the stars and stripes on each and all the stars. Aye, each and all the stars. A month came along and a month went by, and he landed on the moon. And his very first words when he landed there, how the hell am I gonna get done? Aye, how the hell am I gonna get done? They tried a rope, they tried a line, a kite and a big balloon. They began to toy with a breeches boy, but they couldn't bring him down. Aye, they couldn't bring him down. The moon man walked to the other side, and there to his great alarm, down in the valley of the deep green cheese, he spied a collective farm. Aye, he spied a collective farm. When he was seen by the commissar, He told such a pitiful tale. Said they will send this man back down with tomorrow morning's mail. Aye, tomorrow morning's mail.
An excellent historical record there, David. Every word of it true. Okay, Kate Portal is next, and then could we have Riggy, please?
Are we unmuted?
Are we unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Oh, good. Now, I'm looking through my concertina. I got an email from Richard last week to say that my voice could be heard, but not my concertina. Can you hear my concertina? I hope you can.
Yes, think so.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Okay. This is a complete experiment. It's nothing to do with Burns. It's a song that hasn't lost any of its meaning. But it's very much a song that I hear a guitar being played to. And it's a song I love and really don't know if I can do justice. Ooh, to. Anyway, you'll and I've also suddenly decided to change key at the last minute. So this could be a complete disaster. So it's a song that you'll be able to join in with, I'm sure. So they paid paradise, put up a parking lot. Oh, I'm going to do it in the other key. Anyway, I've completely blown it now, haven't I? Paradise, put up a parking lot. With a pink hotel, a boutique and a swing. He's got till it's gone. They paid paradise for a parking. Cemetery museum. They half
Kate, I'm really sorry to interrupt, but there is something wrong with your sound.
Is there?
Yeah, we're not getting your voice really. It's coming and
Try
going.
this. I'll hold the microphone differently. Try that.
They paid paradise for a parking lot. A boutique and a
I'm so sorry. It's really not working. I think we're missing out on it too much.
Well, I'll leave it. I can do a lot of practice on it. Worry not.
Yeah, we can hear your voice when you're there, when it's there.
Yeah, I think yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, can hear you fine speaking.
Either the concertina is too loud and the compressor circuitry is clamping down on it, or she needs to turn on the original sound because it's treating the concertina like background noise.
Yeah. Do you want to give it one more go, Kate? But not like that, because we can't hear a thing now. I'm really sorry. I think we're gonna have to leave it for just now. Because it can't. Yeah, there's something maybe you need to mess around with. Sorry about that. But yeah, it wasn't worth continuing. And okay, in that case, it's going to be Riggy next, and after Riggy, one from Pal.
Okay, I hope it's not concertinas that are the problem, but I'll give it a test here. This is a song, I guess it's pretty appropriate for Holocaust Memorial Week, written in the teens, I believe, by Morris Rosenfeld, but it's become associated with the Holocaust. Don't look for me where birds are singing, you will not find me there, my child. I am a sleigh where chains are ringing, dorten is mein Ruheplatz, dorten is mein Ruheplatz. Don't look for me where water's calling, you will not find me there, my child. Where spirits fail and tears are falling, dorten is mein Ruheplatz, dorten is mein Ruheplatz. So look for me, so if indeed you love me truly, come to me, mein lieber Schatz, and lift my heavy heart from sorrow, make it sweet, my resting place. Mach mir sie mein Ruheplatz.
Lovely.
Associated with the unions.
It is associated with the triangular shirtwaist factory fire and the start of the American labor movement. Very much so.
Thank you, Riggy. And one concertina out of two ain't bad. So yeah, good that you got your sound sorted. Hope, Kate, you get yours sorted for next week. Okay. So it is now time for Pal. And after Pal, one from Chris Lamb, please.
That was beautiful, Riggy. The Burns song I was going to sing has been sung. So I shall do one of my own, which is nothing to do with anything topical, really, but it is a true story. My love, he was a handsome piper. He played for me a gentle air. We loved to roam the sunlit hillsides and see the flowers blooming fair where the reed cane grows, where the reed cane grows. He said to me, come to Barcelona, I have to see my friend Ramon. So we flew out in mid-October and headed for the fields of green where the reed cane grows, where the reed cane grows. We found Ramon down by the seashore. He said the cane grows tall and fine. Take what you want to make sweet music, then share with me this flask of wine where the reed cane grows, where the reed cane grows. And as we talked, the sky grew darker, a storm rose up,
the wind blew high, but we were safe within each other, as all night long we two did lie where the reed cane grows, where the reed cane grows. When daybreak came, we crossed the hillside to bid farewell unto Ramon. We could not guess it was the last time we'd ever meet, for now he's gone where the reed cane grows, where the reed cane grows. And so I lost my handsome piper. I never more will hear the air he played for me. Down by the seashore and on the hills and everywhere where the reed cane grows, where the reed cane grows.
Got my beer, but I didn't feel all of it, so I'm just hoping I can. I've got.
You wrote that yourself, pal, did you say?
I did. It was based on a true story.
Nicely done. Yeah, amazing stuff. Great. Okay, now it is, did I actually say who's next? I'm confusing myself because I'm interspersing women between men, so I've got lots
Chris
of
Lamb.
arrows. It is Chris Lamb, yeah, Chris Lamb followed by Kathy Dent. Chris, you won a prize from me a year ago for some aspect of Scottish singing at my Burns Night gig, didn't you?
Did I? I
Yeah,
would
I
be
think you won
amazed.
a.
I think it was the Booby Prize, wasn't it? As far as I remember.
It was something.
It was
Anyway,
the worst attempt at a Scottish accent, I think.
that was it. Try it again. Try it again now.
So I try again. It's got to be Burns or MacColl. I sang one of Ewan's songs last week, so it's got to be Burns. And song has been, not this song, but a completely different version of the song has already been sung this evening by Sheila Miller. But this is a version which he rewrote completely for the Merry Muses of Caledonia, his collection of bawdy and erotic songs. And it's basically, this is a rant about the hypocrisy of the clergy in matters of sex. The bonniest lass that ye meet neist, gie her a kiss and all that. In spite of ilka parish priest, repenting stool and all that. For all that and all that, their mimood sangs and all that. In time and place convenient, they'll do it themselves for all that. Your patriarchs in days of yore had their handmaids and all that. Of bastard gits, some had a score and some had more than all that. For all that and all that, your lang time saints and all that were fonder o' a bonny lass than you or I for all that. King David, when he waxed old and his blood ran thin and all that, and found his cods were growing cold, could not refrain for all that. For all that and all that, keep him warm and all that, the daughters of Jerusalem were wailed for him for all that. Who would not pity they sweet dames he fumbled at and all that. He raised their blood up to the flames, he could not drown for all that. For all that and all that, he wanted pith and all that. And as to what we shall not name, what could he do but claw that? King Solomon, prince or divines, or proverbs made and all that. Both mistresses and concubines in hundreds had for all that. For all that and all that, the preacher wise and all that, the smuttiest sang that e'er was sung, his sang-a-sangs is all that. Then still I swear a clever chiel should kiss a lass and all that, though priest consign him to the devil as reprobate and all that. For all that and all that, their canting stuff and all that, they can nae more as reprobate than you or I for all that.
Yay!
Lovely.
Great stuff.
Thanks, Chris. I've never heard that one before. Great stuff. Okay, it is now time for Kathy Dent to give us a song, and after Kathy, one from Dave Harbord.
I'm staying with the New Year theme as it's still January, but I've got a tenuous link for Ewan because it's written by Peggy Seeger. So do I get 2 points, Amanda? Oh. I tried.
Maximum 1 point ever.
Okay, fair enough. I'll only do the chorus every 2 verses, otherwise it'll go on for ages. Come fill up your glasses with cider or beer and drink a full glass to a happy new year. To our sisters and brothers, may they live long. So lift up your voices and join in this song. Long life to the miners the whole world around, who work all their days in a hole underground. Though whose road is eternal, whose day is the night, from danger and darkness they bring power and light. Our thanks to the fishermen, and safe may they toil, and also to the farmer who turns up the soil, to the ploughmen and shepherds and all men of worth, whose joy is to harvest the fruits of this earth. Come fill up your glasses with cider or beer and drink a full glass to a happy new year. To our sisters and brothers, may they live long. So lift up your voices and join in this song. Here's to the drivers and firemen and the rest of the team who keep the stock moving by diesel or steam. To the cleaners and the shunters who work night and day, and the track laying gangs on the permanent way. A toast to the casual labouring man who lives where he works and who works where he can. To the joiners and painters and the bold engineers, may the jobs keep on coming, lads, down through the years. Come fill up your glasses with cider or beer and drink a full glass to a happy new year. To our sisters and brothers, may they live long. So lift up your voices and join in this song. To artists and writers, let's drink a health to this people whose hopes and whose dreams are all wealth, whose tools are but canvas or paper and pen, whose harvest is the future and the progress of men. To musicians, songwriters who paid all their dues, may they be inspired to follow their muse. May they be so perceptive of life's lows and highs that they keep turning pebbles into jewels we can prize. So come fill up your glasses with cider or beer and drink a full glass to a happy new year. To our sisters and brothers, may they live long. So lift up your voices and join in this song. Here's a health to the teachers of our children most dear, who give them the skills to face life without fear. May their wages keep rising till they're paid what they're worth, and their students grow up to be stewards of this earth. So let's drink to our children and let us prepare a world where they live free from sorrow and care. A world where goodwill amongst men is the law. A world without lies and a world without war. So come fill up your glasses with cider or beer and drink a full glass to a happy new year. To our sisters and brothers, may they live long. So lift up your voices and join in this song. So we'll fill up our glasses and drink once again to peace on the earth and goodwill among men.
Great, Kathy.
Yay.
Great.
Kathy.
A happy new year again. You're sneaking that in there, Kathy. Okay, so now we're going to have one Dave after another. Our remaining Daves are Dave Harbord, who will be followed by David Clare.
Right, okay. Two of my favourite songs about alcoholism. I don't know why, but still, this one, it wasn't written by Robbie Burns, but I think he might have enjoyed it. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, Johnny, my man, do you no think of rising? For the day is well spent and the night's coming on. Your silver's all gone and your whiskey cup's empty. So rise up, my Johnny, and come away home. Who's that at the door that is speaking so kindly? It's the voice of my Wolfie, Jeannie by name. Come in, my dear lassie, and sit down beside me. There's room in this alehouse for more than just me. Oh, Johnny, my man, the children are weeping. There's no meal in the barrel for to fill their wee wounds. Why you sit here a-drinking, you leave us lamenting. So rise up, my Johnny, and come away home. Oh, Johnny, my man, do you remember our courting? When the long summer's days we thought they'd never end. We spend the long days among
the sweet roses, and never gave a thought, love, to going away home. Oh, well, I remember those times that you speak of, but those days are all gone, love, and will never come again. But as for the present, we'll try for to mend it. So give me your hand, love, and I'll away home. Oh, Johnny rose up and he banged the door open, crying, "Cursed be the alehouse that e'er let me in, and cursed be the whiskey that makes me so thirsty. So fare ye well, whiskey, for I'm away home."
Really lovely.
Hey,
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
nicely done.
Nice one,
Cracker.
Dave.
Yeah, lovely one, Dave.
They said it. So good stuff. Dave Clare is next, followed by Marianne. And yeah, we are going to struggle again to get everyone on. It would help if you keep your introductions short, and don't forget, on another note, to put the names of your songs in the chat. Anyway, over to you now, Dave.
Just a very brief intro about why this sprung to mind recently when Mr. Tangerine Man was finally being dragged out and sent off to Florida. It occurred to me that it had his finger on, still had his finger on the button at that time. And for people of our age would remember the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 as a genuine threat. We were really terrified. We went to bed the night of it and thought we wouldn't wake up. So I was reminded of this. It's not a Burns one, but it's a Scottish singer, lovely singer, songwriter, Jim Brown, from Glasgow. And it was written about the Cuban Missile Crisis. As I walk by Loch Lomond side on a fine spring morning, the sun fought with the icy rain that came on without warning. And all the wee birds sang again as the mountains shed their winter snow. A finer sight I'd never seen that day upon the road. By Glen Douglas then I travelled west, across the hills to reach Loch Long, and it put my mettle to the test, and in my heart a joyful song. From Scotland and her beauty wild, so many years I'd been away, and I felt the wonder of a child that day upon the road. But before my eyes the scene it changed. Man-made structures flanked the hills, caverns grim of concrete grey in rows so menacing and still. I wondered what these things could be. No reason for them could I find, and a change of mood come over me that day upon the road. Well, a shepherd working in the glen told me what had happened there, to make the work of many men the storehouse of tomorrow's fare. For in these mighty caverns grim, avenging swords in rows did stand, to unleash war some dreadful day, with pain and death in every land. I felt so sad just standing there, in a place I'd once loved well, now used without permission as to house the very teeth of hell. But all those folk who strive for peace, their struggles on, it must not cease. I tell you now, I told myself that day upon the road. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Chair. Just briefly, and there was a CND Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament poll a couple of days ago that said 77% of people in that poll still want bombs banned. It was still.
Thanks, Dave. That was definitely up to your usual standard. Okay, so who did I call next? Marianne is next, and then one from Marty Stock, please. Are you there? Oh, no volume, no audio at all. Not Marianne in that case. No, can't hear a thing. I don't think your audio. No, no. Who knows? Okay. In that case, it's Marty Stock, and we'll come back to you if you can sort it out. But yeah, Marty. Hello? Do we have Marty in the building, so to speak? Oh, no, I think Marty Stock has left, so it's not Marty Stock. It's going to be Rory Grieg, and then maybe Marianne. Sorry to spring that on you, Rory. You'll want to unmute. We're having technical problems tonight, like nobody's business.
Can you hear me?
We can now.
You can hear me. Jolly good. Right. Well, this isn't Burns, but it's old and it's Scottish. As I was coming home from the fair at Ballymania, I met a comely lass. She was fairer than Diana. I asked her where she lived as we jogged along together. By yon bonny mountainside, she replied, amongst the heather. Oh, lassie, I'm in love wi' ye, hey, say money cherums. Oh, lassie, I'm in love wi' ye, to ye my bosom worms. Wi' a bonny blinking ee, and your person being sae clever, I fain would wed with thee, bonny lass, among the heather. Oh, dinna think, young man, that I would be sae easy taken, and dinna think, young man, that I believe the words you've spoken. For I'm happy and I'm weel wi' my father and my mither. 'Twould tak a canny chiel for to while me frae the heather. Oh, lassie, condescend wi' me, and dinna be sae cruel. Spare to me one kiss, my dear, a kiss of thee, my jewel. If I would gie thee one, you would surely ask another, and maybe closely join to tent me mang the heather. Oh, lassie, think ye weel o' the love I hae to offer. Oh, lassie, think ye weel o' the guineas in my coffer. I hae a hoose and land, and will canty be together. She smiled and gied her hand, and went wi' him through the heather.
Good night, my dear.
Lovely story, Rory. Thank you. Okay, Marianne, could you? Nope, this isn't working for you tonight. Don't know
Can you hear
oh,
that? Can you hear me now?
yes, can hear you now. Fantastic. So it'll be you, and then it will be John Johnston.
Okay. Am I too loud? Or am I all right?
No, you're fine.
Okay. I'm going to try a Robbie Burns one. I'm surprised no one's sung it. I'll have a go. A fond kiss and then we sever. A farewell and then forever. Deep in heart-wrung tears I'll pledge thee. Warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee. Who shall say that fortune grieves him, while the star of hope she leads him? Mean a cheerful twinkle lights me, dark despair around benights me. I'll ne'er blame my partial fancy, nothing could resist my Nancy. For to see her was to love her, love but her, and love forever. Had we never loved so kindly, had we never loved so blindly, never met nor never parted, we had ne'er been broken hearted. Fare thee will, thou first and fairest. Fare thee will, thou best and dearest, thine be ilka joy and treasure, peace, enjoyment, love, and pleasure. A fond kiss, and then we sever. A farewell, alas, forever. Deep in heart-wrung tears I'll pledge thee, warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee.
Beautiful, Marianne.
Ah.
Wonderful.
So good.
Well, just as well you got your sound back, wasn't it? I wouldn't have wanted to miss that. Okay, so it's John Johnson and then Jean Willard, please.
Thanks, Amanda. So this is in honor of tomorrow and the International Remembrance Day of the Holocaust, written by Johnny McAvoy, a wonderful balladeer and ballad writer in Ireland. What did you dream, my love, that woke you from your sleep? I dreamed I saw the soldier again march up our street, and I saw them in their uniform and their boots of shining leather, and I knew when they came to our front door that they would go no further. And the wind, it blows from the Zuider Zee, and Amsterdam is weeping, but Vincent's tears can't wash away the shame that we are feeling. And what did you dream, my love, that keeps you now from sleeping? I heard the soldiers on the stairs, in foreign tongues they're speaking, and they took me to the railway yard where the carriages were waiting, for on their sleeve was a crooked cross, and my heart was a star of David. And the wind, it blows from the Zuider Zee, and Amsterdam is weeping, but Vincent's tears can't wash away the shame that we're feeling. Oh, what did you dream, my love, that are tears upon your pillow? And I saw the chimneys in the east, and the black smoke from them below. And it slowly swept across the land, and it covered every nation. But no one heard my lonesome cry, or came to my salvation. And the wind that blows from the Zuyder Zee, and Amsterdam is weeping, but Vincent's tears can't wash away the shame that we are feeling. So sleep, my love, 'tis over now. It's time that you were leaving, for the morn and stars are fading fast. There's no more time for dreaming, for the sun will warm the earth again and dry up all the sorrow. The flowers that faded yesterday will bloom again tomorrow. The wind it blows from the Zuyder Zee, and Amsterdam lies weeping, but Vincent's tears can't wash away the shame that we are feeling. Thank you.
Lovely stuff.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Beautifully sung.
Wow, John. I don't know what to say. That was mesmerizing, and yeah. It's Jean Woolard next, possibly with something completely different. I don't know. And Jean will be followed by, oh, I'm not going to get everybody on. I'm really sorry for those who arrived later on. But Jean will be followed by Stuart Marcus, and then we will just squeeze in Simon Prager, and we shall have some other people who hopefully we will hear from in the near future. Okay. So over to you, Jean.
Right, follow that. Yeah, something completely different. Saturday night at the Adam Smith Hall, the couples all moved to the dance master's call. Tonight they've no worries, Tonight they've no problems, no worries at all. The dancing tonight. But oh, Monday morning, she comes round too soon. The sound of the flax mill, the beat of the loom. But tonight the band's playing a romantic tune. The dancing's tonight. The dancing's tonight. Her partner is perfect, he's light on his feet. The footwork is graceful, perhaps they might meet. On by the old Kirk or down Hunter Street, walking home under the stars. But oh, Monday morning, she comes round too soon. The sound of the flax mill, the beat of the loom. But tonight the band's playing a romantic tune. The dancing's tonight. The dancing's tonight. Walking back late by Kirkcaldy's seawall. The sea looks so big, the sky is so tall. The fate of two people can't matter at all. Just a waltz in 3/4 time. But oh, Monday morning she comes round too soon. The sound of the flax mill, the beat of the loom. But tonight the band's playing a romantic tune. The dancing tonight. The dancing tonight. Saturday night at the Adam Smith Hall. The couples all move to the dance master's call. Tonight they've no problems, no worries at all. The dancing's tonight. The dancing tonight.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a link to that?
Thank you, Jean, and I'm sorry that I am being quite naughty by putting people on ending up slightly after 11. Please forgive me. It does mean we hear from one or two others, but yeah. So it's Stuart Marcus and then Simon Prager to close the evening.
Okay. So I was here last week, and I honestly don't recall what song I played, but this one sort of fits in with the presidential inauguration here in the States. And the event that preceded it by 2 weeks, and Holocaust Remembrance Day, which I appreciate some taking note of. This is called "Too Far to Turn Back Now." It's one that I wrote. But if you find yourself motivated to echo the refrain, "Won't turn back now, won't turn back now," please do. At the Wilderness, General Grant he cried, and all the gallant men who died, and he cast his eyes at 1,000 graves in the great war to free the slaves. But he rose and made a vow, we've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now, won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now. After the Ardennes, Eisenhower paused at all the sacrifice it caused. 19,000 men, 500,000 more, to end a genocidal war. But his task was planning how we'd come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now, won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now. In every age there's a fight for freedom and for right, as people rise to say, you can't take these away. Down in Birmingham and in Washington, and the places' rights were slowly won. Martin Luther King, many others killed, to see the dream of America fulfilled. And songs of hope they did endow. We've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now, won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now. Each time again we see that freedom isn't free and must defend zealously human rights and liberty. Now we watch with dread, though we thought it dead, as thoughtless hatred rears its head. As the good book warns, in words so sage, each generation, every age, we must renew our sacred vow. We've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now.
So, yeah. Nice one.
What a good song.
That's lovely, yeah.
Great song.
Great.
Thanks, Stuart. Great song, and that would have been a great one to end the evening with. But we have a kind of an encore from Simon Prager. So before Simon finishes the evening off for us, thank you to everybody again for being here. I hope those of you who didn't sing because of technical difficulties or lack of time will join us again, and we'll hear from you soon. And lovely evening. What more can I say? Thanks to Livy for muting as ever, David for indexing.
Thanks,
and
Amanda.
it's all yours, Simon.
Thank you. This is, yeah, that would have been a great song to end the evening with, and this isn't. It's this is a Yiddish song written by Mordecai Gebiertig, but it's appropriate for a Holocaust Day, so which is tomorrow, I think. And if I don't sing it now, I have to wait for another year. So there you go. It's a sprint, which and the core, it means it's burning. Our little village is burning. It's a pogrom, which happened in 1936, and the chorus is, and you stand there with with idle hands and do nothing, and our little town is burning. It's addressed to the Jews of the town who were standing around not knowing what to do. And it's saying, do something, don't just stand there. Es brennt, Brüderlech, es brennt, oi unser arm Städtel nebig brennt. Beise Winden mit Jirgosen, Reisen brechen und zerblasen, starke Nacht, die wilde Flammen, als schon brennt. Und ihr steht und guckt aus euch mit verlegter Hand. Und ihr steht und guckt aus euch, unser Städtel brennt. Es brennt, Brüderlech, es brennt, oi unser arm Städtel nebig brennt. Es haben schon die Feierzungen, das ganze Städtel eingeschlungen, und die Bäse Winden huschen, unser Städtel brennt. Und ihr steht und guckt aus euch mit verlegter Hand. Und ihr steht und guckt aus euch, unser Städtel brennt. Es brennt, Brüderlech, es brennt. Es kann Cholile kommen der Moment. Unser Stadt mit uns zusammen soll euch Asch weg in Flammen. Bleiben soll wir nur a Schlacht, nur puste schwarze Wind. Und ihr steht und guckt aus euch mit verlegter Hand. Und ihr guckt und steht aus euch, unser Städtel brennt. Es brennt, Brüderlech, es brennt. Die Hilfe ist nur in euch allein gewendet. Ob das Städtel ist euch teuer, nehmt die Kehlen, löscht das Feuer, löscht mit euer eigen Blut, beweist, dass ihr das kennt. Steht nicht, Brüder, oder soll sich mit verlegter Hand. Steht nicht, Brüder, löscht das Feuer, unser Städtel brennt. Thank you.
Hey. Tofi.
Thanks, Simon.
Didn't
Really
finish your soup?
thanks,
You didn't finish your soup?
I did.
Oh, that's your soup.
We all know now.